cover-up for reasons with journalists, and we have people that tell stories, and those that stories of people being killed around the world in Syria and other countries, and they're being taken over, the smaller countries, to make the New World Order that people never hear about in the news. They never hear about reality. And since I was allowed to travel out in and out of country, I saw that happen. So the world is in a very interesting place with those that can control it, those with the money that can control what's being done for whatever reason. And I believe there's people that are off playing it that do participate with some of us and for our willingness to learn, but so we can be of use off playing it. Not everyone will be. And those that are doing bad here are not pure of heart, pure of mind, pure of spirit. I believe that they are the ones that feel like they're doing the worst damage to themselves and their families in gaining all the money and the power they think here, but it will be not, because this is a very short time in a lifespan or a generation of what we call immortals. And immortals have different levels of existence off planet that I've seen, heard, and even been taught that is absolutely still amazing to me. But because they've been on my journey into a reality part of my existence and my education level, it's I wouldn't say religion, I wouldn't say military, I wouldn't say family culture or orientation. It's just an experience that is simply out of this world that's hard to believe, but it's going to be my story. And I'm looking for those out there that want to compare what they know historically or what they've experienced or investigated. Let's put our stories together. And if you're one of those, I hope you'll join my ACO club and make yourself known. If you're writing or a good book historically or have followed threads about what you believe is true, be real. Don't tell me you've seen something you haven't. Don't tell me that you've experienced something that you haven't. All I'm looking for is people to be truthful and share their experience or their understanding of what this reality is. And if they were truly on a path that's historically spiritual, but also very accurate as to what they believe they've seen, or I am getting into the phenomenology of their dreams and what they suspect is a reality for them that may be, but it can be in a dream level of existence that we are creating and traversing, so to speak, in the many journeys, because there's many roads that lead to the top of the mountain, so to speak, are many roads and one journey together as a humanoid species. A lot of people have passed over now, and they could be influencing us one way or another to lead the humanity on this planet towards a place in space. And I have a story to tell that I believe it's going to be that you find out what you do here, you take with you when you leave here, and what you want to do and what you've skilled yourself with. You have a skill set inside your thought processes, and you leave your DNA, your genome here, but your consciousness, your conscience, if you have one, and some people don't. Some people are going to just be left here in the dust, so to speak, because they didn't do anything with their soul, their conscience, their spiritual connection back to a point of origin of reality, or back to source. Some people believe in the origin of something that was really, really great. And we're going to discuss all that here with TJ MRCT Radio in an extraterrestrial sense, because there's so many ways to talk about the various threads and journey that we're on spiritually. And that's one thing Tommy Hawksblood does twice a week on Wednesdays and Sundays, and sort of evangelistic story or of emotion or a process that he personally has gone through. So he shares his own personal opinions and feelings with his own filters, but we each do. And I'm going to push forward with knowing that the Bob Lazar story is true, that he went public for a reason historically, and that Reagan was aware of what was going on from 80 to 93 at least, and that my husband worked for him for a reason, and that he sent him and I on a journey for UFOs, and we signed up for that apparently without knowing it. But once we got into it, it was hard to believe, but we crossed paths for a reason. And maybe the intelligence agency wanted me to be a third party because I would tell it and just go out and get the facts, which I'm still trying to do. So historically, I hope to write a book that's more on the lines of what happened during the Reagan years and for whatever reason why I was brought to the Thomas R. Morris story, and I'll do my best here on the radio show to express all that which was not previously shared. And I encourage you to go back and listen for the Thomas R. Morris shows here in the archives just to get an idea of what Tom went through and what President Reagan sent him on a journey to find out the truth about UFOs or unidentified flying objects that were not of Earth origin or that our government had under cover or underground, and sent me in, and I worked with colonels in the Army and the Air Force. So did he, and the government had a job for me to do, I was told, and it was never really told all the details, which I find is funny. So I'm still out here doing the same thing, trying to piece it together. And I don't know if I had a handler or not, if I had a gentleman, older gentleman, I don't even know if he's still alive or not, older white man. He was probably 20 years older than me, white hair, sort of. He had really beautiful blue eyes. He was about 6'1" or 2", walked with a cane, and then a woman that was very old then and had a young woman that worked for her that was escorted to meet me, and that was in 1994. And I'll never forget that. And I guess the rest is history, meeting Tom and being chosen. And I guess I was chosen to meet Thomas R. Morris. They never showed back up again or messed with me after that, driving a truck. And Men in Black had helped me maneuver that and delivering things other people couldn't because I had a clearance. And there's all kind of little stories all invested in my past and history. And whether people believe it or not, it won't matter unless we're weaving a truth with my threads, with your threads, and bringing them together with credible people. And I empower everyone to listen to Michael Sala, and Dr. Sala could possibly know some information, but he needs to research a lot more. And he came on my radio show, Cosmos Connection, when I was working with Mike Ringley and Ahmad Painter. Thomas Becker is his real name, out of Atlanta, Georgia. Or not Atlanta, not Valdosta. Anyway, lower part of Georgia. Mike Ringley was up near Lebanon. But I was doing Revolution.radio for a while. And I've quit so I can own up the history right here in the archives and work forward with those that want to know the truth. And I'm going to begin sharing, but I only want to talk to people that have a real powerful story that they can stand behind, that why they tell their story, why are they passionate about it, what are they working towards, the goals for helping the government and helping people in the United States of America become better, and hopefully everybody in the world, because we know that everything we've been told is not the truth, and that there's a lot of truth not being told. And do you ever wonder why you don't know more about the world, why you don't hear more about the world government, world news, the United States news, and why the journalists today and don't really report the way we used to in the old days as far as getting the facts, to go out and talk and get statements and affidavits and do the really pounding down, because we use the internet for so much, But I still say trash in, trash out. That's one of the first things we learn. The data that's put in, that unless you go verify it in today and time. Back in the day when you'd go into the courthouses and look for data information they used to have to keep, a lot of it could be paid, or you'd pay a girl on the side to trash it and pull it out, and it'd be gone, or the whole courthouse would be burned. We've lost a lot of really important data on all of this stuff. But now the Central Intelligence Agency has files on UFOs that they've released. The UFOs, FBI files have those they've released. So you can go and look, and there's plenty of other places under Freedom of Information. But there's a lot of stuff that never was filed, that was never told, that even the government didn't know about unless they could spy. And even with Reagan, they had swept for bugs, and they had equipment to jam things that were listening. So we were always worried about the Russians back in the day, where the Russians were the bad guys, but on other cans, on certain cases, you worked with them together. So it was really a strange world back then. I'm sure it hasn't changed that much, but the people on the inside that need to know information, and now we're working with Facebook and Google and the companies, YouTube, and controlling all the data, and I guess all the information's going over to Utah for, who knows, National Security Agency, I guess, NSA. I don't even know anymore, but not that it matters. It doesn't. But what would maybe matter are those that are interested in those coming and going because they haven't stopped, nor will they. And there's a larger agenda that is happening, and it seems like those in charge would want to know the bigger picture if they really do want to know. But regardless, there's those up there that want this story to be told, and I feel like it's time for me in putting it together, and they're allowing me to let you hear this part of it anyway. Well, I'm on the 30-minute mark, so I'm going to go. I've got 30 minutes left, but I'm really tired tonight, and so all is well. It's 6:30 p.m. exactly on 9/25/2018 Central Time in Gulf Breeze, Mecca of UFO world, and we're going to bring that back here, not just for tourism, but for the fact that we've got 8 military bases around, but alien civilizations exist, and so do UFOs, and you know, Mutual UFO Network needs to be more than it is probably, but we've got the UFO Association, the ACO Club, and we're going to do our best to get to the bottom of all of this, and hopefully all you people with a story can come tell it. All right, well, love and light. I'll be doing some interviews that have nothing to do with UFO Talk, but we have UFOassociation.com if you're interested, UFOSecretSpace.com, and I'm your host, Theresa J. Morris. Miss you, Art Bell, and I'll do my best to keep the light burning, and everybody see the movie Taken by Steven Spielberg, and people consider me a little Allie Clark for those that love movie time, and everybody that's going to be keeping up with me, I'll be watching Survivor tomorrow, so stay tuned. I still believe in entertainment, and I like reality shows, so love and light, and talk to you when I talk to you. Thursday, I'll be doing some whispering about the Emerald Tablets, maybe. Love and light, everybody. Good night.